The top stories tonight in Y News. Some House lawmakers question former President Rodrigo Duterte's statements against the Marcos administration over economic charter change. The House of Representatives passes economic charter change, a resolution of both houses number 7 on second reading. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, assures there was no tailor-fitting on their term of reference, or TOR, to suit the specifications of their new provider, the South Korean firm Miru. And we will find out why India passed a new citizenship law that eases non-Muslim refugees to receive Indian citizenship. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, March 13, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harin Delgado. First in the news. Some House lawmakers criticized the statements made by former President Rodrigo Duterte against the administration of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., particularly regarding the issue of economic charter change. Meanwhile, a lawmaker is questioning what seems to be premature politicking. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Aklan 2nd District Representative Teodorico Jaresco Jr. expressed concern about the effects of the recent statements made by former President Rodrigo Duterte. According to Duterte, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. allegedly only wants to extend his term through the proposed economic charter change. He made these remarks while attending a prayer rally of SMNI and supporters of religious group leader Apollo Kiboy.
Kung may galawin man ang konstitusyon, isa lang. Pahabain lang talaga ni Marcos kung anong ginawa ng tatay niya, gagawin.
What he did was a political ripple that has a grave economic impact on our country, because as an international banker, that ripple that he created may burn the house down.
According to Representative Jaresco, this could affect the Philippines' image in international community, which the PBBM administration is courting for additional investments.
There will be some suspended animation from all these targeted foreign direct investments into our country with that move of our honored former president.
As the month of peace for Muslims, the chair of the House Committee on Muslim Affairs is calling for unity.
So what's in the bottom of our hearts is that our nation will succeed in moving forward peacefully and united, both Muslims and Christians alike. And it will be very difficult for us to do this when two great leaders are fighting against each other, President Bongbong Marcos and former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Meanwhile, House Assistant Majority Leader Francisco Paulo Ortega questioned the timing of the former president's statement.
Mas marami pong malalaking problema yung bansa kaysa mag-uumpisa tayo. We stir the pot with political problems, political accusations. So, I encourage them na tulungan natin yung gobyerno natin, tulungan natin si Presidente Bongbong Marcos kasi ang aga po ng politika. Napakaaga po.
On the other hand, former President Duterte seems to have found an ally in the Congress regarding the issue of possible insertion of political amendments into the proposed economic chacha. According to House Deputy Minority Leader, ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro, this is what they are focusing on resolution of both houses number 7 or RBH 7. The aim of the measure is to relax the economic restrictions of the 1987 Constitution on public utilities, education, and advertising.
Kasi we have a experience talaga na dinadagdagan yan at the bicameral committee at saka doon sa pag nasa president's office. So kaya posible yon Kaya nga sinabi ko nga kahapon, tiniyak ko sa sponsor na isasama nyo ba dito yung mga political provisions. So sinabi naman ng sponsor na hindi daw, pero hindi tayo nakatitiyak doon.
The House leadership repeatedly assures that no political amendments will be inserted into the proposed economic chacha being pushed by the administration. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The House of Representatives on Wednesday passes Economic Charter Change, a resolution of both houses, number 7, on second reading. This is after 3 days of period of sponsorship, interpellation, and amendments. Let's turn back to Rosa Licoz for the details.
Call the roll of members.
The resolution of both houses number 7 or RBH 7 aimed at amending certain economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution has been approved on second reading by the House of Representatives. Specifically targeted are public utilities, education, and advertising. This comes after a 3-day period of sponsorship, interpellation, and amendments in the plenary of the House of Representatives.
There is a motion to approve resolution of both houses number 7 on second reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Resolution of both houses number 7 is hereby approved on second reading.
During the deliberation in the plenary, one of the sponsors mentioned that once the people ratify the proposed economic amendments through a plebiscite, this cannot be questioned anymore before the Supreme Court. It was also emphasized that this would constitute a valid amendment to the 1987 Constitution.
After we approve this, Mr. Speaker, distinguished sponsor, can anyone now question this amendment in the Supreme Court after it has been ratified by the people?
If it is already ratified by the people, there can be no more question. When there is a plurality of the votes in the plebiscite, nobody can question it anymore.
Cagayan de Oro City 2nd District Representative Rufus Rodriguez once again assured that there would be no insertion of political amendments in RBH 7 such as term extension. Likewise, other provisions that are feared to be included in the economic chacha, such as the removal of restrictions on the placement of United States military bases and nuclear weapons, as well as the relaxation of restrictions on foreign ownership of land, will never be included.
Very clear. That is only economic amendments, 3 provisions, nothing more, nothing less.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This will be recorded, yung ating pinag-usapan. Kaya kung magbago man yan, Mr. Speaker, meron tayong panghahawakan.
We are bound by what we speak and commit here.
Once the economic chacha is passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives, it will no longer undergo a bicameral conference committee.
We now have an identical resolutions. So therefore, I do not see any need for a bicameral conference committee. If you are saying that there is a provision in the Senate about voting separately, the way to do this, to be able to have an understanding, is for us to ratify the RBH 6 of the Senate, or for them to approve ours and accept them and ratify them. So there is a way to be able to make our 2 Congresses agree to one particular provision. No need for a conference committee.
The economic chacha needs to be passed by the Senate first before the resolution of both houses of Congress can be submitted to the Commission on Elections or COMELEC. Through a plebiscite, the public will then approve or reject it. Meanwhile, it is expected that next week, the House will pass RBH 7 on third and final reading. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Amidst the anticipation of increased passenger traffic during extended holidays, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, or CAAP, has underscored its commitment to ensuring the safety of travelers at airports across the nation. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, will start the heightened alert on all transportation hubs by March 24. It was part of the Oplan Biyaheng Ayos for the long weekend from March 28 to March 31. But even before DOTR activates Oplan Biyaheng Ayos, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines or CAAP ensures preparedness of airports in the country.
Lahat ng 44 airports sa CAAP, naka-ready na tayo. Just pag sinabi ng binigay ng DOTR yung exact date, i-implement na natin yung Oplan.
CAAP spokesperson Eric Apolonio said airports already conducted bomb simulation to ensure safety of passengers following the series of bomb jokes transpired in airports recently. They already instructed airport managers to submit their airport operations and communications plan. Furthermore, no-leave policy will be implemented among the airport employees to avoid insufficient airport personnel during the peak season.
Yung ating mga personnel, security personnel, mas marami as compared doon sa regular na operations ng mga airports.
CAAP also ensured that there will be no power outages during long weekend like what happened in Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA in the past year. This year, an increase of 10% to the volume of passengers is expected, which will be more than 400,000. Last year, the total passenger count in airports during long weekend reached 4.4 million.
May tinatawag tayo revenge travel, because marami tayong mga kababae, especially sa ngayon, talagang mura yung mode of transportation para sa air transport. Kaya mas maraming gumagamit ng air transport at very convenient.
Domestic travel is expected to increase as travelers will go to provinces for vacation. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The House of Representatives has passed the bill seeking the revocation of Sunshine Media Network International, or SMNI's franchise, on second reading due to multiple violations of its franchise. House Bill number 9710, an act revoking the legislative franchise granted to Swarasug Media Corporation, operating under the business name SMNI, passed the second reading without interpolations and amendments. During the sponsorship speech of the chairperson of the House Committee and Legislative Franchises in the plenary, Representative Gus Tambunting pointed out that SMNI has committed red tagging, fake news peddling, and violations of broadcast standards. It was only on Tuesday, March 12, when the bill was approved by the House Committee after 6 hearings in 5 months' time. And next week, the bill can be passed by the House on third and final reading.
The Committee on Legislative Franchises, after exhaustive deliberation on the issues surrounding the operations of Swarasug Media Corporation, operating under the business name Sunshine Media Network International, has concluded that the grantee committed several violations of its franchise granted under Republic Act 1422.
Earlier today, March 13, a fire broke out in the audiovisual room of the Department of Medicine ward at the Philippine General Hospital, or PGH, shortly before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Responding swiftly, fire brigades from various cities and agencies rushed to the scene. According to Dr. Jonas Del Rosario, the spokesperson for PGH, firefighters managed to extinguish the fire by around 4:30 in the afternoon. Additionally, Dr. Del Rosario disclosed that 180 patients from the affected area were promptly transferred to other wards within the hospital. Despite the intensity of the blaze, Dr. Del Rosario emphasized that no injuries were reported among patients or staff members.
Linisin pa yung lugar kasi siyempre pumunta dun yung Bureau of Fire, siyempre para maano yung sunog, so basa pa doon, nililinis pa po. Hindi pa po binalik doon yung mga pasyente. Ang ginawa po namin, nilipat muna po namin yung mga pasyente sa iba pong wards.
At present, authorities are diligently investigating the cause of the fire, aiming to determine its origins and prevent any further occurrences.
And for the news abroad, After weeks of preparation, the first ever maritime shipment of humanitarian aid has set sail to Gaza. RK Liorca details why.
The charity ship Open Arms has left the Larnaca port of Cyprus on Tuesday, March 12, to transport almost 200 tons of food to Gaza, where at least 576,000 people are on the brink of famine. The Spanish vessel is towing a barge loaded with rice, flour, legumes, canned vegetables, and canned proteins. The ship's journey could take as long as 2 days. Meanwhile, World Central Kitchen, the United States charity behind the mission, is building a jetty to receive the aid in Gaza, which has no functioning ports. Once the ship successfully docks in Gaza, other ships will follow to deliver more aid as part of a European and Emirati maritime initiative. While traveling by road is the quickest and most effective way to transport aid into Gaza, Israeli restrictions allow only a fraction of the aid to get in. However, Israel denies preventing the entry of aid and shifts the blame to United Nations agencies for failing to organize the allowed aid to get into the territory. Israeli government spokesman Alan Levy posted on X, formerly Twitter, that far more aid trucks are reaching Gaza through Israeli coordination with the Gazan private sector. The UN World Food Programme states that deliveries are needed every day as 576,000 people in Gaza are one step closer to famine. RK Liorca, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
On Tuesday, March 12, the United States House of Representatives Democrats began collecting signatures to vote on a $95 billion security assistance package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. According to Jim McGovern, the top Democrat on the important House Rules Committee, majority of the chamber's 435 voting members have signed the petition. However, the aid has been held up in the House due to oppositions from Republicans closely aligned with former President Donald Trump, who has opposed aid to Kiev over loans. Some of the opponents also expressed that the country's taxpayer monies should not be used to fund overseas conflicts while their country is facing massive budget difficulties. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Joselito. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, assures there was no tailor fitting on their term of reference, or TOR, to suit the specifications of their new provider, the South Korean firm Miru. Dante Amento tells us why.
Commission on Elections, or COMELEC Chief George Erwin Garcia, disclosed on Tuesday, March 13, that their term of reference, or TOR, for the procurement of automated election system to include the vote counting machines, or ACMs, is a product of long deliberations and inputs from experts and partner agencies.
11 beses po namin ni-revise ang mismong TOR at alam po yan ng NAMPREL at PPCRB, participate at iba pa pong mga organizations. So ibig sabihin, yung pong TOR namin o yung wish list kung anong gusto naming makina ay produkto ng pagsasama-samang kaalaman, hindi lamang ng COMELEC kundi ng mga partners natin.
Hence, Garcia directly belied the accusation that it is tailor-fitted for the machines of South Korean firm Miru, which will be used for the 2025 national and local elections.
Ako po magsasabi, Diyos ang aking saksi. Wala pong katotohanan yung mga tailor-fitting na yan.
Garcia emphasized there are no other machines like that of the Miru in the world today because it is the COMELEC's wish list or specifications are there on how to customize the machine. The poll body also assures that they have studied Miru before awarding the multi-billion peso contract for the lease of fully automated election system. The Commission is willing to bring the machine for demo before the Congress.
kinakailangan alam ng ating mga kongresista, ng mga senador, ano ang nangyari, ano ba ang kinakaharap natin, at bakit tayo nag-arrive at sa Miru system bilang nanalong bidder sa ating pong bagong makina na ating pong rerentahan para sa 2025 election.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The camp of religious group leader Apollo Kiboy has pledged to adhere to the Senate's show cause order. This report will tell us why.
The 48-hour window for Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Kiboy to explain why he should not be arrested is now running. This as his legal counsel confirms that they have received a Senate show cause order this morning.
So as the counsel on record, tatakbo na yung 48 hours. We are deliberating still, no? But definitely we will comply with the show cause order.
For Senate Deputy Minority Leader Rizon Tiveros, who leads the investigation into Kiboy's alleged abuses, there's no acceptable reason for the religious group leader not to be arrested, may it be security or medical reasons.
Dun sa mga ibang humarap sa Senado na nag-cite ng security concerns, lahat po sila ay naalagaan. Di siya naiiba. Ang medical condition po ay unfortunately, isa sa pinakagasgas na ginagamit na dahilan, ginagamit ng mga taong ayaw humarap ng maayos. Honestly, I cannot think of an acceptable reason na hindi siya paarestohin. Lalo na kung mananatili siyang magsabing he sees no reason to honor the Senate's invitation. Siya yung pinakawalang respeto sa nakita ko pa sa tanang buhay kong nagtrabaho dito sa Senado.
The opposition lawmaker says she, together with Senate President Juan Miguel Migzubiri and other senators, will evaluate whether or not Kiboy's explanation is satisfactory. Should the senators remain unconvinced, an arrest order will be issued against the religious group leader. Now the House panel also issued its contempt order against Kiboy for failing to attend the SMNI franchise investigation. Hontiveros is open to the possibility of requesting the lower house to allow Kiboy to also appear in the Senate should he be arrested first by the lower chamber of Congress. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Senate Deputy Minority Leader Rizon Tiveros criticized the attendance of former President Rodrigo Duterte and his daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, at the prayer rally of supporters of religious group leader Apollo Kiboy. She asserted that this would not affect their investigation in the Senate against Kiboy. This response served as a rebuttal to the allegations made by the Vice President that the investigation into Kiboy is becoming a trial by publicity.
Ako nagtataka, bakit nag-effort pa silang dalawa na dumepensa sa isang tao na akusado sa mga napakaseryoso at mabibigat na offenses laban sa mga pinaka-vulnerable sa ating lipunan. Sana yung effort nilang dalawa binuhos na lang sa wakas pagdepensa sa ating mga mangingisda at mga kasundaluhan natin at Coast Guard laban sa pangbubuli sa China. Wala pong trial by publicity kay Kiboy. Ang judgment on innocence and guilt niya ay nasa labas ng kamay ng Senado, nasa kamay ng Korte.
Finance Secretary Ralph Recto breezes through the powerful Commission on Appointments, or CA, today, March 13. As he faced the committee, Recto emphasized the importance for the government to improve tax collection, plug tax leakages, and prevent wasteful spending. Recto vows that there will be no new taxes until next year, noting that the country's debt is still manageable.
So for as long as gastusin mo ng tama yung bondong yan at mas lumago yung ekonomiya mo, then your ability to pay improves. So hindi naman ako nababahala sa kalagayan ng utang ng ating bansa. Sa katunayan, 70% ng utang natin ay utang natin sa ating sarili. 1/3 lang ang utang natin sa foreign exchange. So, medyo kaya naman natin.
He also assures that under his helm, the government will continue to employ measures to shield consumers, especially the vulnerable, from the detrimental effects of inflation. No member from the House contingent posed questions for Recto, who also served as a congressman, while senators were all praises for their former colleague. Recto adds he has no intention to run in the midterm elections, as he intends to finish his term as the Finance Secretary of the Marcos administration. A Pogo Hub in Tarlac was raided by authorities amidst allegations of illegal detention and human trafficking. More than 200 Pogo workers were rescued, allegedly being exploited by operators in various scamming schemes. Due to the vastness of the facility, authorities estimate it will take several days to complete the inventory. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, alongside other authorities, executed a search warrant at Zun Yuan Technology Incorporated in Sitio Pagasa, Barangay Anupol, Bamban, Tarlac earlier today, March 13. The complaint filed in the Bulacan Regional Trial Court revolves around violations of Republic Act 10364, also known as the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act, and serious illegal detention. According to the PAO, the complaint originated from a report by a Vietnamese national who managed to escape from the facility on February 28.
Started with the rescue operation. May humingi ng tulong sa amin yung Vietnam Embassy. And then, nung ma-rescue namin, kinuna namin siya ng statement. And then lumabas na galing siya sa Pogo. And biktima siya ng torture, ng physical injuries, pananakit.
Additionally, a Malaysian national sought help due to allegations of illegal detention.
Doon na nag-stem yung pagpapile namin, pag-apply namin ng search warrant for human trafficking and serious illegal detention para ma-rescue namin yung ibang biktima na nasa loob ng Pogo Hub.
The authorities disclosed that the number of suspects or victims working at the Pogo Hub has reached 875 and is expected to rise. Several Pogo workers attempted to flee, but authorities managed to apprehend some of them along the road. One of the modus operandi of the Pogo Hub involves various scams, including cryptocurrency and love scams. Furthermore, authorities are investigating the firearms and ammunition discovered on the premises. PAOK anticipates that completing their on-site inventory will take some time due to the scale of the operation. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, Special Counsel Robert Hur stands by his evaluation of the United States President Joe Biden's poor memory. He stated it was fundamental to his investigation as to whether Biden willfully hoarded classified documents after he left the vice presidency. Mavian Dog will tell us why.
In a special report released in February, U.S. Department of Justice Special Counsel Robert Hur wrote that President Joe Biden would present to a jury as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. He appeared before Congress on Tuesday, March 12, to explain his recommendation not to press criminal charges against Biden for mishandling of classified documents when he was out of office. He defended his assessment of Biden's memory and overall mental health as vital to his investigation on whether the president intentionally held onto the classified documents in question. His conclusions have, however, elicited criticism from both Republicans and Democrats. For Democrats, the issue about age evokes questions whether the 81-year-old Biden will be fit for a second term. For the Republicans, on the other hand, Hur's report suggests preferential treatment is accorded to Biden. Where the current president eluded charges, Donald Trump was indicted on similar charges of retaining classified documents. One of the high-profile descriptions in Hur's report related to Biden's apparent confusion about the date of his son's Beau's death. Hur used the incident as an example of the president's memory lapses. Biden, meanwhile, quickly held an impromptu press conference to express his outrage at the reference to his memory. Mavian Dog, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
After 5 years since it has been proposed, the Indian government on Monday, March 11, passed the 2019 Citizenship Amendment Act, or CAA, that will enable non-Muslim refugees from neighboring countries to get Indian citizenship easier. However, many rights groups as well as the United States and United Nations expressed their concerns, saying that the law discriminates against the Muslims. According to a spokesperson from the Office of the United Nations for Human Rights, the law is fundamentally discriminatory in nature, whilst also breaching their human rights obligations. He also added that the office is also investigating whether the law complies with the international human rights law. A spokesperson from the United States State Department also said that the freedom of religion and equal rights are essential to democracy. Meanwhile, President Narendra Modi denied that the law is anti-Muslim and said that it is needed to help the non-Muslim minorities facing persecution in neighboring Muslim nations. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Joselito Liquido, live from Malaysia. Good evening.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, has ordered today, March 13, the Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Office, or PENRO, in Bohol to conduct an inspection of the Captain's Peak Resort situated within the iconic Chocolate Hills. This directive aims to ensure compliance with a temporary closure order issued by the agency. The DENR revealed that the temporary closure order was issued back in September 2023. Furthermore, in January, the resort received a notice of violation due to operating without an Environmental Compliance Certificate, or ECC. The resort has also faced criticism on social media, with netizens expressing concerns about the impact of building a resort in the midst of one of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. Many argue that such development could harm the natural environment and detract from the beauty of the Chocolate Hills. Good news for members of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, this National Women's Month celebration. Commencing this July, there will be complimentary mammogram and ultrasound screenings for women annually. This initiative is part of the expansion of primary care benefits under PhilHealth's Consulta package. According to Department of Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa, these free services aim to facilitate early detection of cancer and other diseases among women. PhilHealth assures that come July, mammogram and ultrasound screenings will be provided free of charge at over 2,000 accredited hospitals nationwide. To avail of these services, members simply need to visit any of PhilHealth's accredited hospitals with their doctor's recommendation, and it's absolutely free. Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Psalms, chapter 100, verses 3 to 4, it says, Know ye that the Lord, He is God. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people, and the sheep of His pasture. Enter into His gates with thanksgiving, and into His courts with praise. Be thankful unto Him, and bless His name. And those are the reasons behind the news March 13, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold, because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Harleen Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
What he did was a political ripple that has a grave economic impact on our country, because as an international banker, that ripple that he created may burn the house down.
Mas marami pong malalaking problema yung bansa kaysa mag-uumpisa tayo and stir the pot with political problems, political accusations. So, I encourage them na tulungan natin yung gobyerno natin, tulungan natin si Presidente Bongbong Marcos kasi ang aga po ng politika. Napakaaga po.
There is a motion to approve resolution of both houses number 7 on second reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Resolution of both houses number 7 is hereby approved on second reading.
Lahat ng 44 airports sa CAAP, naka-ready na tayo. Just pag sinabi binigay ng DOTR yung exact date, i-implement na natin yung O-plan. Yung ating mga personnel, security personnel, mas marami as compared doon sa regular na operations ng mga airports.
The Committee on Legislative Franchises, after exhaustive deliberation on the issues surrounding the operations of Suarezug Media Corporation, operating under the business name Sunshine Media Network International, has concluded that the grantee committed several violations of its franchise granted under Republic Act 1422.
11 beses po namin ni-revise ang mismong TOR at alam po yan ng NAMPREL at PPCRB, participate at iba pa pong mga organizations. So ibig sabihin, yung pong TOR namin o yung wish list kung anong gusto naming makina ay produkto ng pagsasama-samang kaalaman, hindi lamang ng COMELEC kundi ng mga partners natin.
So as the Counsel on record, tatakbo na yung 48 hours. We are deliberating still, no? But definitely we will comply with the show cause order.
Ako nagtataka, bakit nag-effort pa silang dalawa na dumepensa sa isang tao na akusado sa mga napakaseryoso at mabibigat na offenses laban sa mga pinaka-vulnerable sa ating lipunan. Sana yung effort nilang dalawa binuhos na lang sa wakas pagdepensa sa ating mga mangingisda at mga kasundaluhan natin at Coast Guard laban sa pangbubuli sa China.
So for as long as gastusin mo ng tama yung bondong yan at mas lumago yung ekonomiya mo, then your ability to pay improves. So hindi naman ako nababahala sa kalagayan ng utang ng ating bansa. Sa katunayan, 70% ng utang natin ay utang natin sa ating sarili. 1/3 lang ang utang natin sa foreign exchange. So medyo kaya naman natin.
Started with the rescue operation, may humingi ng tulong sa amin yung Vietnam Embassy. And then, nung ma-rescue namin, kinuna namin siya ng statement, and then lumabas na galing siya sa Pogo. And biktima siya ng torture, ng physical injuries, pananakit.